Welcome to the Adventure Quest.
Well, that won't work.
So you got to put it on the filter, right?
That won't work by itself.
But we're missing some sort of component. So some item which we just don't have. Not even a photograph. Yeah. Okay, so we're missing an item. Wasn't with the droid. It wasn't in the crates. It's got to be in the cells. Damn. Yeah, you can't open these side. Oh, you can't open the side door. Yes. Oh, thank God. Thank God I checked. No, don't go to D. Ugh. All right. Thank goodness I checked. All right, so hopefully that just gives us the item we need, and it's pretty going to be straightforward. Oh, I closed it. Okay, what do we have in here? Whoa, garbage.
A shiny new garbage bag. One man's trash is another man's treasure.
Grab it. Garbage. I love eating garbage.
Oh. There's a dirty air filter in the garbage bag.
Here we go, that the droid disposed of.
Well, what do we have here? Looks like a dirty air filter.
And the good news is the examine is working again. There's our gas bomb. Okay, which is 30 seconds. Good to know.
Well, supply crates. Gideon must be planning on holing up here for a while. Well, supply crates. This must be where they kept the barrels of swill for the prisoners. This place stinks. This must be where they kept the barrels of swill for the prisoners. This must be where they kept the barrels of swill for the prisoners.
All right, everybody loves swill. Ooh. Listen to those fly sound effects. All right, I think we're good here. Okay. So the question is it going to matter which filter? We only get 30 seconds. Let's just try this one. Probably does not matter, but you never know. Okay, let's save. 3610 filter bomb. So 30 with this. The droid to examine. So he's gonna take the droid with him inside. Oh, how do we arm it? Because it's only got 30 seconds. It's more than 30 seconds. Gotta activate the bomb. Boom. So we'll use our gas mask to get through there. Sweet.
This filter is spotless. Must have been replaced recently.
I guess you close it so it doesn't say dirty.
I'll need to find something to open this with.
Guess we don't. Alright, very good, very good. We probably should be wearing our mask, you would think, but I don't have a way to do that, really. Maybe we're just wearing it automatically, or I don't know. There's no, like, gas here. Did the droid blow up?
This guy didn't seem to take it as hard as the guard did.
Yeah.
I guess I'll need something to access the second set of doors.
Security guard. Anything we need over here?
Link's LS mug. I've got to play that one of these days. Well, I doubt this hairbrush was for any inmate. It looks too expensive. I wonder if Gideon's moving crew dropped it.
Grab it.
At the rate I'm going, security guards everywhere will start referring to me as the Sandman.
Ooh.
Monitor. Guard must have been occupied while I was making my way down here. It's so hard to find good help.
Indeed, indeed so. Okay, that was good. Let's go through here. Yeah, I probably want to save it. 3675, okay. Hairbrush. Okay. Oh, shoot. My notes are closed. Let's examine the hairbrush, shall we?
Judging by the amount of hair on this brush, I'm guessing Mr. Gideon may want to check into a hair replacement system before too long.
Is it his own hairbrush? Like, that's weird. Okay, it's just to get the hair. Yeah, what was his own personal hairbrush doing down here? So this is going to be for some, like, DNA security thing, maybe?
Oh, great. A
Yep.
DNA scanner. I won't be able to bluff my way through this. The pad on the floor scans for correct DNA makeup.
All right, well, let's see what a death looks like here, maybe. DNA lock active. Please step on pad for DNA scan. DNA not match. DNA match. DNA match. Oh, because we have it in our inventory? Maybe?
Oh, great. A DNA scanner. I won't be able to bluff my way through this. The pad on the floor scans for correct DNA makeup. Oh, great. A DNA scanner.
Yeah, I guess we can't.
I won't be able to bluff my way
Can't
through
die here.
this.
Yeah, all right. No way to die there. Set off an alarm.
I slipped through the DNA scanner and entered some kind of computer control center. I walked up to what looked like a central terminal and typed in the word stalemate. Suddenly a command popped up telling me to insert a pass card.
You'd gotten to the system.
I got out the 8 STG pass cards and inserted one into the console. At that point, it asked me for a password which I had to type in.
Stalemate sequence initiated.
Oh, 2 minutes.
To deactivate Overlord, insert pass cards now.
Okay, this must be game end. Should.
Naturally, I would have been crazy to
That's a
try
death.
that. Luckily, there was another way out of the situation without getting myself killed.
Okay, I was just trying to save for time, but all right. So do we know what the right sequence is? I guess just go A through H. We'll try that initially. Not overcomplicate it.
Stalemate sequence initiated.
Okay, we have all the
To
passwords.
Deactivate Overlord, insert pass cards now.
Question is whether they have to be in a different order. Oh, it's at F1 for information. You must insert the STG passcards one at a time and enter the correct password for each one. To manipulate the passcards, seems pretty straightforward to put them in. When the correct password has been entered, the card will remain inside the security machine. If the wrong password is entered, the passcard will reappear. You may then reinsert and try again. Okay. How do I? Oh my god, I can't get it in there. Where the hell do you drop it? Oh my god. Hey. There we go. Jeez. All right, that wasted like a quarter of my time. Okay, so the order doesn't really matter. Okay, B is draw. Castle. Gambit. Bishop. Resign. Checkmate. Knight. Where did we get those glasses from? Night vision? Goggles? Chessboard.
Exit this program immediately, Mr. Murphy.
Sorry, Mr. Gideon, I can't do that.
You don't understand what you're doing. I am not the enemy.
I know, but Overlord is.
We're gonna play chess?
Then you do not understand its purpose.
I think I do. Do you know how close Law and Order came to overtaking your system?
A calculated risk, my friend. It is the only solution.
Well, a lot of innocent people have been killed. I'm just trying to make sure there are no more victims.
It is better that some die, rather than allow the entire planet to degenerate into total chaos.
No one's got the right to play God.
I agree. It's unconscionable. But the fact is, it's done every day, and moreover by people who aspire to nothing more than avarice and domination. What do you imagine stopping me will accomplish?
But what do you think you'll accomplish?
Overlord is the hope, Mr. Murphy. With it, I can influence events in the global political arena for good.
Good for you, maybe.
Good for all those who respect mercy and justice.
You created just a little bit of a monster here, Mr. Gideon. It wouldn't be the first time you lost control of your creation. Law and Order Party was going to use it for its own purposes. Other groups are going to try, and eventually one of them's going to succeed. This little nightmare of yours has got to be destroyed.
Oh, I pity your blindness, and regret that you cannot be reasoned with. Let the match begin.
Okay, so this is when we have to do the chess moves, probably.
I'm black, right?
Oh, I'm afraid not. But, you have the first move.
Yeah, we were wearing the white suit in the VR space.
Well, that's good. I found myself looking out over a huge virtual chessboard covered with chessmen. Gideon had said that I was white, which of course had fewer pieces.
Of course.
Some type of 3D interface popped up with a menu of 8 possible moves on it. As far as I could tell, Call had programmed it so I'd have to choose the correct sequence of moves in order to checkmate the Black King and deactivate Overlord.
Can we save? Okay, the good news is there is no timer. All right. And, oh, looks like it deselected A and D. Okay, so, wow, this actually could be like a chess kind of thing. All right, so where are the yellow pieces? White. Black King is there. Wish we could actually get a better angle here, but anyway. Couldn't they have just replaced these letters with the actual pieces? Would have been nice. All right, so we have to do 6 things in sequence. So some of these might not. So the thing on E7 is a knight, and we could ostensibly take it with a bishop, rook, correct, or pawn. Yes. All right, he's got a rook on our pawn there. All right, the other options we can do are bishop to F5, which would be here. All right, but that he could easily take it with his queen, so we don't want that. Rook to D1, so that's just moving it over to protect, I guess, this bishop. This queen can not take our knight because we have protected by the pawn. And I'm guessing the first move is pawn there, because otherwise, what good does the pawn do? The king can't move up because we have it protected with the bishop. Pawns can't do anything, and rook is not in position. So the only problem with though is that the pawn will be blocked here. So that's not necessarily a good thing. If we use the bishop to go in there, we put heat on these 2 spots, but again, I'm not sure it's a checkmate yet. I mean, it's not going to be a stalemate because he has plenty of other moves he can make. Okay. Yeah, I'm glad I finally got this chess game going. All right, the other move we can do is king to F1, but okay, yeah, actually, he's got his queen right here. So he could just come up. Yeah, if we went over here, actually, it probably would be, we would be checkmated ourselves, actually, if we went here. Because then the king would be blocked and he could just come down and I'd have no way. So yeah, this is the last thing we want to do is this. Oh, you can preview. That's kind of cool. Not that I need to see that, but let's just see what preview looks like. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Red Star. All right, so I think I understand all of that. This would be a losing move, which I'm kind of tempted to do just to see what it would look like. We have to keep that in mind, though, that he could come there. What other heat could he do with this queen? Again, he can't take the knight. He's eventually going to move over here and do some damage. Protected with the pawn, bishop. Our queen could take the pawn, but that's not one of the options they're giving us. Okay. The question is whether do we want the bishop to protect the pawn or the pawn to protect the bishop? I mean, the bishop could do more heat. I'd rather do that. The other move we could send is in the rook. Rook's the best, right? We send in the rook. He can't take it, and then it is. Oh, it's not checkmate though. But we could take a pawn. I mean, it would certainly give us some good avenues. Take out that pawn. He couldn't take us, but he could easily move over there, and then we'd be in danger. Thing is, then we could take over this pawn or that pawn. So we'd still have some options remaining. Moving that out of the way would still get him. Let's. The good news about sending in the rook is we could have some various options there, which I like. Let's do the rook to e7. Let's try that. See how this goes. Okay, so he moved the king over. So now this is in danger, right? But if we move over... Oh, right. I forgot we only have a library of moves, so we're just not playing from that point. All right, my bad. So I probably screwed this up. That's okay. I forgot because it has to sequence to the other moves. So now we can only move bishop to f5. All right. Yeah, I forgot. We're not just playing from there. We have to do a series of moves that results in the checkmate. Got it. All right. So bishop to f5 would be here. Doesn't really do much. Rook to d1. Wait, d1? Oh, the other rook, I see. Or king to f1. Now, king to f1 is like a losing move. Actually, now this is over. He can always jump up. But again, that's not going to help checkmate. So, yeah, it's not really good. I think, yeah, I messed up. All right, bishop f5 here. I mean, we put heat on there, but we still, I don't know, end up having to capture. I mean, the queen would just take us out, take the bishop. King to f1. Bishop to f5, rook to d1. This, I guess, protects him, but what's the point? All right, whatever. Let's just move the bishop. I kind of messed this up, but that's okay. So f5 would go here. The queen would just take that. So I don't want to do that. I don't know. You move the king to f1? Does he have any heat on me? Oh, and I forgot there was a knight here. So he could just take that too. Even though we have the pawn. But again, we don't have that move available to us later. All right, so I messed up. That's okay. Rook to d1. Whatever. So if it doesn't get checkmate in the number of moves... Oh, did he even move? What did he just do? I missed his move. Did anyone see? Not sure what happened. Bishop to f5. Oh, this was preview. My bad. Okay, that's why he didn't move. Okay, so he came over here. Then, yeah, I can't really do anything. Bishop to f5. I mean, it's not going to be checkmate, but I guess we run out of moves. Checkmate. Oh, we got checkmated. Why can't we take him? Oh, because he's got the rook there. My bad. All right, well, now we get to see what the death looks like.
Game, set, and match, Mr. Murphy.
Oh. That's it? Okay. All right, so now, right, so we have to, it's got to be a series of moves. So e7. So we can only take one piece there once. So I think we have to do some of the other moves to get enough pieces in position that once we go for the striking blow, like there's nothing he can do. d7 here. Okay. So bishop to f5 would just cause that queen to take it. Yeah, so we move the bishop to f5, the queen can just take it, so that doesn't help us. Rook to d1, we at least kind of get heat on there, but again, we can't take it eventually. Unless he moves his pawn out of the way, which he's not going to do. King to f1. Yeah. This is so weird playing this when you only have like a very small subset of moves you can actually make. Yeah, Daryl, yeah. I was thinking about it like normal chess, but I only have 6 possible moves I can ever make. And then once I capture the piece on e7, it's down to 3 moves, so or fewer. So I guess let's just get the rook to start protecting whatever's in row D. Or I can get the king, the mare. Let's just see what he does. Okay, so he takes a piece there. So, a couple things. If he goes there, it's mate, right? Oh, can I just take him though? Oh no, the rook. I forgot about the rook. Okay. So I have to move the king to f1, so I have an exit strategy. And he could take the rook, but I would just take him. So we got to get the king out of there, out of danger. Oh, still checkmate. Okay. It's so weird looking at the thing when you just see letters instead of pieces. I know, I guess I could look on the board there, but...
competition is too cerebral for you.
Whoa, Michael York talking trash. I wish this would just give me an overhead view here. That's what I would prefer. I don't like looking at this because it's tougher to recognize what the pieces are. And the lighting is so dark here. I'd like to fit this board, but no. Okay, so this is a knight. So when he takes this knight, and I can't use the pawn. See, that's the shitty thing here. Anytime the queen take the knight, you'd use your pawn to take the queen, but... Oh, but that would actually put you in check. Never mind, you couldn't even do that anyway. All right. I can't complain too much. All right. So rook to d1, king to f1. Goes there. We're never going to be able to capture him. Then he would just take us. Okay, so bishop to f5. So maybe we do need to kind of put him in check to prevent his queen from being on offense. Although the bishop to f5 is weird. It doesn't really do anything, and it doesn't stop him from coming after us. Okay, so I think it looks like we do need to do something here. If I do the pawn though, the king is not under attack. He's not on check. He can't take us and he can't move. But I don't know how I'm going to mate him from there unless I have a knight to use later, which I do not. Because that's a king, not a knight. So that's the problem there. I have no way to get heat on him. So I don't think pawn moving there is going to work. The rook... I'm never going to be able to move this again. He will be in check, but he's going to be moving around. The bishop is almost the same as the pawn in that I can't put him in check by taking that spot. But if I move the rook there, then he moves over, and then how do I eventually get him with the remainder of these moves? Bishop. So bishop f5 has to be the checkmate move. But how do we get the king out of here, or this pawn to die? I don't have any other library of moves. This is strange. So there must be only one set that works. Unless these moves somehow become available later. Queen is eventually going to capture something on d7, which would be this pawn, which would mean this knight would have to move out of the way. Yeah, maybe that's the case. Maybe this becomes available later. So if we can get this knight out of the way, the queen can come here, and he'll be there, and it'll be checkmate. I think that's the way that works. So I think the only way to set that up then would be to... Well, how can we bait his knight? Move there. Yeah, so we need the pawn or the bishop here. No, maybe we need the rook there so he actually moves it. He moves it there. So I think you start with the rook. I think he goes there, so he's not checkmate. Oh, then we got to get the knight to move. How does this knight move? I don't know how we get that knight to move, though. Strange. Bishop. All right, let's do the rook. I know the queen's going to come after us, but let's just see how this goes. Oh, no, that was the wrong rook. I wanted this rook e7 moves. Shoot. All right, reset that. I guess it counts as a death, but fine. It was a wrong rook. I wanted to do the capture.
Check and mate.
Moving it doesn't... Yeah, okay. It was not checkmate. It was a resignation, a forfeit. I want to move this rook. Okay, so he's in check. He moves over. He can't take this rook. But we also can't move the rook over. And now the question is, how do we... We need to bait that knight somehow. But I have no idea how to do that. Wow, so this is going to be a tricky one. So we know his next move is going to take this knight. The king goes over here. I'll just take that. Where does that? Yeah, so I need to get out of here because that's where I'm in trouble. So let's move the king over, I guess. He'll take this. The question is, where does he have supporting players? These are bishops. Oh, that's a bishop. Oh, so you can always come down and take this. So even if we're here, if he comes down here with his queen and then takes this, I'm dead anyway. Yes. And then I don't have any other king moves. So yeah, I think that's screwed. D1 doesn't do anything though. What the fuck does rook to D1 do? I have to get him to move these other pawns, but I don't know how to do that. Yeah, so I think we lost again. Just because they won't let me do any other moves. It sucks. Sucks. F5. Does that put heat on him anywhere? This pawn, I guess. Yeah, let's do that, I guess. Yeah, but then I can't actually do an attacking move. So dumb. He can do any move in the book, and I can do nothing. So yeah, we lost. Wait a minute. Did we get a new move available here? Oh, we did get a new move available here. Right? We never had bishop taking down d7 before. Wow, so you can gain new moves. All right. So bishop to d7 would take this pawn, but not put him in check. So what would be the point of that? So you can get new moves. That's good to know. I don't think it does anything. Just checkmate again. Yeah, I mean, it's checkmate again, but that's good to know. We can get new moves later. Okay. But it's hard to know what moves we're going to get. So I don't know whether to play this straight up as I would a normal game of chess, or I guess we have to do that now because we don't know what
You really should have taken on someone who would let you win.
Look at that smug smile after. All right, so should we play that way, that we're going to have another move? Oh, we did have... Oh, so there is BD7, but then as soon as a piece occupies it, then it becomes bx d7 as in a capture move. Is that what happened? Strange. So I need to get queen d7, but I have nowhere to move the queen until then. How do I get that fucking knight out of the way? So maybe if we do bishop to f5 first, then we can come at him with both the rook and the bishop again. That's what we want to do. Let's move bishop to f5. Okay. Let me think. If he goes here, he could just take out the bishop, right? Yes. Well, we can mate him in 2, right? I think we can mate him in 2. Because we have 2 bishops, we just need to take those 2 pieces. Now, if I go there, though, he's just going to capture me. So we have to move this one first. But does he have mate in 1? He might have mate in 1. So you might need to do check on the first move and then that. Because he's got mate in 1 move. And I have mate in 2 moves. Yeah. d7. Well, if he goes here, though, he has to respond. So he would take out the bishop. Actually, that's a good point. Hold on. If we move here, he would most likely take us. Then what options would we have? Rook to d1, I suppose. I could check him again. Or I could move up to e7. Yeah. All right, let's take d7 to put him in check so we avoid our mate. Because doing e7 isn't going to do anything. It's not going to put him... Well, the only way we could check him with the rook. He would move here. I would move my bishop in, but that wouldn't do anything to him. So, yeah, I think we want to move the bishop into d7, take out that pawn, put him in check. And then maybe we can move our rook. Rook can go to e7. Too bad we can't make it to e8. Check. Okay, he takes us. Now, remember, he still got one. He still has mate in 1 move, so we do need to continue to put him in check. So what can we do to capture him that puts him in check? The rook, protected by that pawn. Check. He moves back there. Now we can move rook to d1 or the king to f1. So we still lost again, huh? Because I only have a very select set of moves. So dumb. Rook to d1. So here, which does really nothing. All right, so at least we made things more interesting there. Eventually we have to get that knight out of there, I think. So the queen can eventually go to d7 for a winning move. So we need to get this knight out of the way. We need to bait it. Yeah. Is there any way to block? I don't think there's any move you can do to block the bishop's path, unfortunately. Yeah, imagine if you didn't know how to play chess.
This match is terminated.
At least, thank God they don't time you, though. Think about it would be if they timed you. Okay, so we made that one interesting. We definitely made that one interesting. I'm trying to think if we do get that rook here. He always backs up there, though. That's not going to help us that much. So we need bishop. Bishop to e7. Have we tried that one yet? That doesn't put him in check, though. It prevents him from getting there, but I don't know how we get the killing blow. The only way we could get the killing blow from there would be queen to d7. So what is the move we can make where the knight would actually take us? I don't think we can move to any of these spaces is the problem. Oh, you know what? The knight could go over here. So we need some way to bait that knight. Maybe we just move the pawn in. That makes no sense. Again. All right, guys, you got 30 seconds for buys. That's it. 30 seconds. I really need to sign off. So, and we really need to close this last puzzle, so here. Timer my ass. All right, that's it. Okay, back to it. So basically he has mate in 2 moves from the start, and it doesn't look like there's anything you can do to stop that, unless, let's think, is there any way we could prevent that from happening? If we move king here, he takes knight, but we can't move the king again, and there's no way we can protect these pawns. Is there any way? Yeah, there's no way we can get to f3 at all. So I don't think there's a way to prevent checkmate in 2 moves unless we put him in check. That seems to be the situation. Do you think that's the situation? So far we've moved in with our rook there. Have we moved in with the bishop yet? I don't think we have. Rook to d1. I don't see how this rook to d1 does anything. The bishop eventually does leave, but we can't move a rook down to d7. So if anything, that's a protective move. The rook to d1 and the king to f1 don't look to me like valid options. If we do beat f5, we can eventually take this, and then we can get him in check. So that can be in 2 moves, but then I think that's what we did last time, right? And he just captured us when he was in check. So maybe we could do rook to d1, and then in 3 moves we would get there, but the problem is he can do it in 2 moves, right? Yeah, he does it in 2 moves. But thanks very much for the $5. I like your name on screen. Yeah, you got it on screen. Oh, you got the last donation, yeah. Thank you, bud. Appreciate it. Thank you for the $5.
I like my name on screen.
Thank you. I think it'll take a couple of minutes for it to propagate to replace Smiling Jack up there. Okay, so actually I do like that as a strat though. If we can get the rook backing up I don't think there's going to be able to get the knight out of the way, so I don't think queen d7 is going to be an option for us. There's no way to get that knight out of the way. So I think the winning move is getting bishop here, backed up by the rook. Right? I think so. The problem is that's going to take us 3 moves to set up, because we have to move rook here, bishop there, bishop there. And even then, actually, that wouldn't be a winning move, because couldn't he just move there? I guess if we had rook in there, then we'd be okay. So if we put him in a series of checks, that would actually be okay. The question is, how do we buy time, right? We have 1 move to maybe set it up. If I do there, we basically need, yeah, so it's a 4-move checkmate. It is a 4-move checkmate, I think. Let me just think. So he eventually, you go boom, boom, that's check. He could go here, but not if we have the rook. So I think we do need the rook there. We don't want to move the pawn in. Actually, could at any time the pawn, we could maybe advance the pawn. No, we can never advance the pawn. We know that. We don't have any other things here. We don't have any other move options. So we do need to move the rook there. So it's in 4 moves. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yes. Those are the 4 moves we need. The question is, in what order do we do them? Actually, didn't the sheet say 6 moves? The sheet said 6 moves. The question is, how do we do it to prevent him in 2 moves? So we got to get him in check early. If I move him here, I need backup support. Maybe I move the rook there. I don't know how I can buy time though. That's the problem. Don't know how I can buy time. If we move rook here, bishop in, and we lose. We got to do check in 1. We have a free move to set it up in. So let's do the bishop to 5. Okay. Now the case is if we go here, he is going to move there. But then we're still not going to get him in check, right? On the other hand, if we move d1, if we move it to d1, then it's checkmate. Pawn coming in doesn't put him in check. We lose. We got to put him in check, but in this case, he would take us. However, maybe that's okay because we can take him in check with this rook. Then what would he do? He would go probably back there. Then we come in with this rook. Oh yeah, that might be a good idea. So maybe we put him in check with this bishop. He has to respond. He can't put us in mate. We have to continually put him in check. So bishop goes here. He takes the bishop. We move this rook over. He goes back to this spot, or he could go to that spot. That's the problem. If he goes to that spot, then we don't have a chance. But maybe he makes a mistake. Maybe he makes a mistake, goes back here. We then come in with this rook. That's the only way I think we could do it. The other ways of putting him in check now, he just moves over, and we don't have a way of putting him in check again. That's the problem. We can't move the rook into e7. Pawn to e7 doesn't put him in check, so we got to go bishop to d7. Oh, I forgot we had this one too. Yeah, that doesn't put him in check though. Okay, d7. So he takes that. Now we put him in check again. We could also move this rook here, which is protected. That's an idea. If we did that, he would move here or there. So it's the same flavor of the same thing. We just have to hope he doesn't retreat to c8. That's the hope. He can't go to c8. So bishop to... That doesn't do anything. Does it matter which one? Not really. Boom. He could move up, but... Yeah, let's get this rook over to d1. Move back. Check. Damn it. Damn it, damn it, damn it. So he had that exit strategy. Shit. All right, so now we can't even get him in check, huh? The question is, so he is mate in 1. Is there any way we can get him in check from here? Yeah, no. No. There's no way. Yeah, I was hoping he would move back here. I wish we could just play this straight up like an actual game of chess. Then we would have then we could do it. On to e7. I mean, he might react against this thinking, oh, he's going to move there, but no, not when he has checkmate in 1. He can just go there. Into f1. Rook to e7. I don't think we have any way out of it because we could never. It's so stupid that we can never. Why wouldn't you use your pawn to just kill his queen? It's so dumb. Oh, we can't do that right because of the king. But yeah, at some point I would have just gotten that queen out of there. So dumb. Yeah, I know. We'd really be stuck up the river in that sense. All right, yeah. So we definitely lost, huh? There's no way to get him in check there. Again, unless I had that queen move available, but I don't know how to get his knight out of there. That's the big problem. We don't know how to get the knight out of there. Really don't. Wait a minute. If the rook were out of the way, could we ever... Nah, because his queen would cover us. So there's no way to do it. No way to do it. All right, take the death. Man. I mean, I think we were onto something, though. There's a way.
Game, set, and match, Mr. Murphy.
Hardly. You can do anything you want. I only have a few moves I can make. I guess the answer is I should have gotten more pass cards. Okay. Bishop f5. Rook d1. Can we get him into check 2 moves? Let's see. Boom and boom. Then that's 3 moves. So I can't do that. So we have to do a check within the first 2 moves. If we move rook there, it will be check, but I can't get him in check again, can I? That's the problem. How do we put heat on d8? It's got to come from d1, right? But even then, we got to get rid of this pawn. Again, but that's 3 moves to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's actually 4 moves because we got to get him to move the king. Is there any way to get heat on e8? Because if we take the pawn here, is there any way to get heat, or even the bishop? Is there any way to get heat on that space where he is now? I don't think so. Because we'd have to get a spot. We'd have to take that knight and then get a piece out of there, right? Because once that rook is moved, the only other rook move we can do is going here. Yeah. Damn, man. Can't move the knight at all. King f1. But I can't move the king again. So king moving to f1, I don't see... If we can never move the king again, I don't see how that's ever helpful. The king f1 position. All right, so maybe we should just try something we haven't before and just see what happens. Rook e7. I think this is going to go worse. But he moves over 1. Okay. Bishop. Can't move the rook again. Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, this doesn't do anything for us, really. Yeah, it doesn't do anything for us. Not at all. All right, so that rook is a really bad move. Very bad move. Hard d1. Because there's no way to get him in check there. All right, so don't move the rook ahead. I mean, the one before we got a number of moves.
Perhaps this competition is too cerebral for you.
Condescending asshole. All right, restart. Okay, so have we tried the bishop going in there? I don't see how it changes it from the pawn, honestly. I don't think it makes any difference. Not really. It's the same squares in order to attack. We still can't get him in check. I don't think that helps us. So I think we were on the right track with the first few moves. At some point, though, we had to have tried something else. Of Shakespeare, wow. That's tough. Okay. I'm still trying to see how King F1 does anything for us, but he has 2. Once he takes the knight with his queen, he can take either pawn, and we're fucked both times because he has heat from the bishop and heat from the rook. There's still no way we can do anything due to our severely limited category of moves. So I don't know. Let's do the. What's the way we can get him in check? All right, with the bishop to f5. Okay. So there's got a way. Gotta be a way to get him. So we can get him in check now twice, right? If we do the rook, he'll move over there, but then we can't get heat on that spot. We can't check him unless we had the rook over. See, if we had one more move to play with, we could do it. But we don't. We do not. So I have to get him in check in this move. There are two ways to do that. I could either do rook or bishop. If I do bishop, he takes that. Then I get him in check again, but he retreats. If we do rook here, he'll go here, but then I can't get him in check again. Oh, wait a minute. Can I do bishop to e7? Oh, I can. Hold on. If I do bishop here... Oh, no, I'm sorry. Wait, hold on a second. If I do rook here, he moves there. Oh. Right. And then I move here. And I go there and there. So I do want to move the rook here now, I think. Oh, no, I hit the wrong fucking thing again. Oh, my God. I hit the wrong thing. Wrong move. I wanted the rook to capture.
Check and mate.
My bad. Okay, so bishop to f5. Okay. Now I do rook here. And then the other, and then this bishop. Oh, wait, no, that's the same spot. What am I thinking? Wait a minute. Rook there, he moves here. Yeah, fuck. Wait a minute. Rook, he moves there. I can't bring this bishop. If I move here, he captures bishop. Then I bring in rook. And he moves there or here. I think he moved back, right? Didn't he move back last time? I think he moved back last time. That's an interesting idea. I know how we would checkmate him. The question is, how do we buy as many moves? So I think the way to do it is you have a bishop or the pawn, it probably doesn't matter which one. You have one piece here that goes these lanes, and then you got one piece there that takes this out. So I think the way to do it, you'd have to have the rook there to protect it, so he wouldn't capture it. But the problem is we don't have another move. We have to get him in check. That's the problem. Bishop in, he captures that. Rook comes out, he goes back, right? Can we just confirm that's what happened, right? Bishop takes out pawn, he takes bishop. We move rook here to put him in check, and then he moves back one. Oh, he almost kind of has to. Or does he? Yeah, he has to because... Well, he could go there. There's no reason for him to do that, though. He can't move up here because we got the rook on him. So... Bishop has heat there. Rook. Actually, wait a minute. If we move the rook up... but we can't move the rook again is the issue, right? Yeah, I don't know how to get heat on him twice. I need to take... I think you do need to get the bishop out and then the rook gives the other heat. But I think we tried this method before. Rook d1. He comes there. He moves back, which is smart. He should do that. I don't have any way to put him in check now because I can't move a rook. Well, I could, but it doesn't do anything there. Okay. Man, I just need one more move without. I need one more move. Well, that's why this is a puzzle, I guess. It's actually a pretty advantageous position. I like it. Is there any way we could do it without the bishop going there? To rook. What is a way? Maybe the idea is to keep him there with the pawn. Maybe we should keep him there with the pawn. Keep him trapped. But the problem is then how do we get him in checked? So if we take out this knight first, with the pawn or the bishop, he'll come down here. How do I get him to check after that, right? I would need to go like this with the bishop. I couldn't take this guy anymore. I couldn't move that in. That's the problem, right? We can't get him in check if we do that. We'll just confirm it, but there's no way I think we could do it. All right, so he's not in check, and then how do we get him in check from here, right? There's no way to do it. Yeah, there's absolutely no way to do it. All right, it was just good to confirm it, but yeah. Okay. I just want to try a different approach. Confirm.
This match is terminated.
All right. We got to put him on heat. So 2 ways to get him in. Basically, there are 3 ways to get him in check. The bishop here. Rook there. The pawn and the bishop, I don't think it really matters. Rook here on d1. Bishop to f5. Okay, if we move, let's think about another way. We can't get heat on d8 is the issue. If we went bishop here, rook down, it'd be check. What would he do then? He would just move here. Then I could not get... the rook would be blocking the way. Rook would be blocking the way. Rook to d1. They don't say which rook, because theoretically you could move this one over. You need both of them to do something. All right. I got to block that means of escape. So is there a way we can ever capture this pawn without the bishop? There's no... Oh, queen. But again, I don't know how to get rid of this knight here. That's really a problem. Really a problem. All right, let's move rook first. I'm moving rook first. Check. Okay, he moves over. We don't have another way to check him now. At all. This doesn't put him in check, though, by taking his pawn. See, unless I had the rook over, but then it's checkmate. This is why we're one move away. We have one move too few, and I can't take any action against his queen. Unless we did a king f1? Does a king f1 ever help us? Does a king f1 ever help us? I don't think it does. Unless we ever got a... We can never get something blocking this line from him getting protected by his bishop. That's the problem. Too bad. Man. And I can never get a check on D8.
Game, set,
Hey, Muff.
and match, Mr. Murphy.
Is there a way to, like, is there some other mechanic I'm not thinking of here that we can use? This is basically it. Yeah, I should be using the preview too. Not that it matters that much, but okay. So let's say we're here. Can you preview multiple moves? No. Okay. That would do nothing. That would be same as the pawn, right? Because then there's no way to get him in check from there. It would take 2 moves. So we definitely don't want to do bishop or pawn as a lead move. If we do bishop over and then in, he just takes us. Then we move rook over, he goes back, and then we're fucked. Or we come in with this rook to e7. Oh, we don't have that option. Oh no, we do. We do. So let's say we went here. We put him in check. He takes the bishop. We come in with the rook. Then he also goes back, right? It's just the same scenario, but the opposite. Let's play it out just to confirm he makes the same move. Okay. Now bishop takes pawn. Okay, king takes that. Now I come in with the rook to put him in check. Yeah, see, he makes the smart move. This is possible, right?
Perhaps this competition is too cerebral for you.
We didn't have to go and get a different, like other pass cards that had other move options on it, did we? The best is we can find some way to bait this knight. I don't know how to do that, though. Unless we just try a move we haven't done yet. Okay, it is possible. I just want to make sure we're not missing a move here. Like, look, there's a space for it. Do we need a 9th pass card that we didn't get? They have a line here for a move we don't have. There was an I pass card. There were only 8 that we entered into the system. Ah, man. Okay, so this is our first way to get him in check. That's our only way to get him in check, I think. Unless we do the bishop. But either way, this doesn't work out for us. I really want to know what King F1 does. I don't see how it does anything helpful. Let me try this approach. Okay, come in with this rook. Yeah, we can only take the white moves. Because these aren't physically possible. I was thinking that there could be a 9th move here, that, like from a pass card, that we would have input. All right, so... Oh, we don't have another way to get him in check, though. Oh, we got the knight out of the way. See, there was no way to know he was going to respond that way. I thought he was just going to move over one, which is what he normally does. All right, now we might have something. We got the knight out of the way, which opens up the queen to do some damage. Okay, so the only way we can do this with the queen... If we move the queen in, the queen can get taken. So we got to move that bishop out of the way, but we're one move away from dying. I don't think we can do. Interesting. So what did we do? We moved rook and then rook in. Oh. So we got to get him in check in this move, otherwise we're dead. So bishop doesn't do anything. The pawn does not do anything. So We have to move the queen. That's the only way we can get him in check. The queen is then dead. But we move the bishop to get him in check with this rook. He then, well, I guess he could do a number of things. So it's not so great. It's not so hot. He would be in check 2 ways. He couldn't move here or here. So he could only move there. Or he could go back here. I'm trying to think of another way to do this. So the only way we can get him in check right now to avoid death is the queen. So it looks like we gotta have to sacrifice the queen. So do that. He'll kill the queen. Now, that does nothing, absolutely nothing. That does absolutely nothing. This gets him in check twice, and we have to do it, otherwise that does absolutely nothing too. So bishop f5, but he can easily get out of it, so this is still not a checkmate. Yeah, he gets it. Oh, he went that way. He went that way, really? Bishop to d7. Well, we could get him in check again here. Right? And we're protected with this rook. He basically could move over or over. Well, we could use the pawn, but then that pawn is not the pawn is protected by that bishop. So, yeah, I think we got to do this, right? These other things don't do anything. Yeah, so we got to do pawn to d7. Check. He moves over. Now we got the bastard. We got the bastard pawn or bishop coming on in. He can't take us because he'll be protected by the other piece. He can't take us because he's protected by the rook. He's in check. Either way, he moves this way or that way. It's check and fucking mate, dude. Let's do it with the pawn. The pawn will be the killing piece, as it were. Goodbye. Sir.
Overlord, system deactivated.
Take that, Michael York. It's the poison pawn, yes. Yahoo! So there's no way to like anticipate that he was going to make he made a suboptimal move for himself.
Checkmate, Mr. Gideon.
Yeah. Whoa, he's going to off himself? It's like, I'll leave you to it. Oh, he's got some, we're going to have some whiskey.
Your case is finished. I've been saving this to celebrate my success. I suppose I should drink to yours.
Sorry, it's tough to tell with these colors, Echo.
For the future.
Oh, we're not gonna smoke with him?
Mr. Murphy? I shan't be needing it anymore.
What is it? Oh, it's lighter. Okay. Shot.
Find a penny, pick it up. All the day you'll have good luck.
Whoa, who's that guy in the back?
See you, Buck. Harley.
So, Mr. Tex Murphy, private investigator, are you ready to take the dive?
Depends. What's in it for me?
Well, let me give you a little taste.
Whoa.
Keep talking.
Well, how about a romantic night in the Caribbean, or sun-filled days on the beaches of Rio? How about skiing in the Alps?
I don't ski.
I'll teach you how to ski, among other things.
I'm kind of a white picket fence, kids, dog kind of guy.
We'll talk about that later. Right now, we have the whole world to explore.
You know, Sylvia, I've been thinking. $1 million isn't what it used to be. I think we need to get an investment counter.
Well, $850,000.
We've already spent $150,000?
But that reminds me, I got a little something for you. Hold on.
You didn't have to do this.
This is in celebration of solving your first case.
Mark Kaiser, thank you for the follow.
It's a hat.
All great detectives wear hats. I thought you should have a fedora.
I hope you didn't pay too much for it.
I paid way too much for it.
What's this?
This was supposed to have been owned by Humphrey Bogart. I know how much you like him.
Here, help me try it on. Maybe we can put it in a frame or something. I don't know what to say.
Say thank you, Sylvia.
Thank you, Sylvia.
It's kind of strange and slightly awkward.
Would you like one?
Sure, doll. Why not? Gideon was probably right.
No, he wasn't. You were. Hey, this is not a perfect world, and no one expects it to be. But the most important thing is our freedom. The freedom to make choices for ourselves. And yes, every now and again, maybe the freedom to make an occasional mistake. You are much too critical of yourself.
It's just that I guess I'm not used to hanging my heart out on my sleeve. I feel like I'm bleeding all over you.
Hey, whose idea was it? It was mine, wasn't to have this talk. And you know what? I appreciate how honest and forthright you've been.
Hell, this is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm sitting here with the world's most wonderful woman, and I haven't been able to make a commitment to you.
Why not?
No, I saved my commitment for women like Sylvia, who caused me nothing but grief. Sonny and Gideon, they were right, because I didn't know anything about life. And I was just getting set up for a big fall, I can tell you that right now. Didn't even take very long with Sylvia. I mean, Sylvia was the only woman that I ever trusted enough with my heart. And not only did she not want it, she punched a hole in it with her high heel as she walked out the door.
I am so sorry that you've had to go through all this. And I know how hard this has been for you to open up and to talk to me. You okay?
Yeah, I'm feeling very vulnerable and I feel stark naked. But for some strange reason, I actually feel better. Go figure.
Good. Because I know how hard it is for you manly men to open up to us women. But sometimes it helps to share the pain. And who knows, maybe it'll get rid of all those nightmares you were telling me about.
Yeah, that'd be nice. You're a wonderful woman, did you know that?
I know. Right now, we're just very good friends who happen to be attracted to each other.
Extremely attracted to each other.
Oh, okay.
She like squirmed out of her chair.
Well, do you remember what you said a few minutes ago about being very attractive?
I think the wording was very, very attractive.
I have something better for you to do with your mouth. It's me. It's my breath.
No, it has nothing to do with
I
you.
shouldn't have had the garlic sauce.
Look, our speeder, it has been stolen. Somebody has stolen our car.
Oh.
Cannot believe this. Man, I knew it. It was just too good to be true. The best moment of my life, followed by the world's worst. I mean, here I am, my speeder's stolen out here. I'm sitting on a great... God, that was hot.
It's Tex, look, it's gonna be okay. Look, why don't we take a cab home? We'll call the police from home, and then tomorrow we'll call the insurance company. You don't have insurance? Oh,
Well, I
no.
did have insurance, but the fact of the matter was I was never using it, so I kind of let the policy expire.
Okay, so maybe the police can help you track it.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure the police are gonna drop everything for Murphy's missing speeder.
Oi! You guys saving that spot or what?
Hell no, if you want it, take it.
You okay?
You know, actually, our speeder was just stolen.
Bummer.
Yeah.
Tell you what, would you guys like a lift to the cop shop?
No, we'll walk.
He's really just trying to do us a favor.
Chelsea, I'm getting a really bad feeling about this. It's like some sort of deja vu or something.
Come on, I think you're just upset over losing the speeder. Look, don't be stubborn right now. You know what? We would really appreciate it, would you?
Hop in.
Thank you very much.
Glad to help.
Oh, look, his head is even uglier than yours.
What's wrong with my hat?
It's a shame to lose such a good parking spot.
Yeah, well, thanks for reminding me.
Sorry about that. What do you about the speeder?
We'll be okay. Hey, thank you very much again for the ride.
Pleasure. Glad to help.
This is a long ending.
Don't miss the most exotic and exquisite exhibit of the decade. The Fabergé World Tour 44. All the magic and splendor of the period of motion. Don't miss.
So you folks from around here?
Rule 24. Don't take rides from strangers.
Name's Dalton.
Hey, thanks again.
Thanks for sitting up front.
This is not a good idea.
What do you want me to do about it?
Nothing with 50 feet off the ground, I don't know.
Who's your mate?
Oh, that's Tex. He's having a very bad day.
That true, Tex?
Oh no, everything's just going peachy.
Well, things could get worse.
To be continued? Did he kill Chelsea? Wow. Maybe he tranquilized her. Do we find out in the Tesla effect? Because I know the the plans for the immediate sequel got scrapped. Ah, there it is. All right, after 19 hours and 37 minutes and 54 seconds, Tex Murphy, Overseer, has overseen the possible death of Chelsea Bando, but had certainly seen victory over Michael York in his Chesley games. If only we could have played Chelsea. Chess against Chelsea. Wow, so you had to live with the ending, yeah, from 98 until 2014, 16 years when the sequel came out. Wow. Yeah. No, I like this game more than both Under a Killing Moon and the Pandora Directive. I understand most people think it was a step down from those two games, but I actually enjoyed it more. It wasn't perfect, but I thought the puzzles were generally better and the plot was more interesting. Like unraveling the conspiracy was more interesting than like the alien Roswell stuff to me. That was actually I prefer this, and they refined some of the interface, better interface stuff, so I didn't get frustrated as much. Chris Jones improved in the acting. Didn't have as many like jokey moments, but I think the game as a whole was more polished, better puzzles. Is there any way we can find out our final score? Maybe after the credits roll, it'll show us our final score. Yeah, there will actually be Windows specials coming up in September for 3 years. And also keep in mind, this was game 187. After we beat game 200, so game 201 will also be a Windows special. Yeah, so game 201 after we beat 200 games will also be another Windows special. And then in mid to late September, we'll have our 4-year Adventure Quest anniversary Windows special. Yeah, so those are probably going to be close in proximity, I would guess. We'll see. So thank you everyone who voted for it. It certainly was. I enjoyed it more than Pandora. I liked it more than Pandora Directive. I know it puts me in minority, but particularly because we only played Pandora Directive a couple weeks ago, so it's not even that. It's still pretty fresh, my memory. That one more, or this one more. Yeah, or Phoenix Wright, which Phoenix Wright we would have played if we couldn't get Overseer working. Thanks again to Aardvark for getting this set up so that we actually could play it, since I couldn't technically play the GOG version of the box. Park City Silver Mine Adventure. Overseer. Twice the mystery, twice the adventure. Double your excitement with this double feature package offer from Access Software Incorporated. Tex Murphy, Under a Killing Moon, $19, sold separately. Tex Murphy, The Pandora Directive, $19, sold separately. But $29 together is a 10 CDs in all, one great price for the combo package. What a steal. Congratulations, you have successfully completed Tex Murphy Overseer on the gamer level. Your final score is 3,895 points out of a total of 4,000. So we actually only 3,900 because we had that bug. So we actually missed out on 5 points. We were 5 points away from actually a perfect score. What did we start at? 3670. I forgot. I think I have to give you 23. Is it 23, Cedric? What was our score before this? Because there's a scoring bug. We got shortchanged 100 points from that brain puzzle. So yeah, we were 4 points away. Oh, it was 3675. Thank you. So 367 to 389. So yeah, 23 Cedrics. Thank you. Truly. All right, very good. There you go. Yeah.
Fresh oats.
Fresh oats. All right, so let's head to our Hall of Adventure. We're going to add game number 187, Tex Murphy Overseer. Put it up on the shelf.